everyone. This is Jared Rand. Welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Saturday, July 12, 2025, after 3:15 p.m. Eastern. You want to make sure that you're in a comfortable position with no outside distractions, relaxed into your body, still as a statue and focused on the natural breath, your breath rising and falling. Looking at a sunset, just for a second, you forget your separateness. You are the sunset. That is the moment when you feel the beauty of it. But the moment that you say it's a beautiful sunset, you are no longer feeling it. You have come back to your separate, enclosed entity of the ego. It is certain, we know one thing is certain, that whether you're in your body 100 years, 500, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, whatever, you're going to eventually decide to leave it. Okay? Right now, you don't decide. Well, maybe in a way you decide, indirectly, unknowingly, unconsciously. But eventually, either way, this life ends. And now, see, we have it where it comes at a great surprise. I don't agree with that. I believe that you should be able to direct, right, and determine when you want to end that life. You are the God. You are part of all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. You're pure consciousness. You are an omnipotently powerful, supreme, manifesting, abundant being that never dies. See, the God never dies, but we know everything that's temporary eventually ceases. And the difference between the two is that right now, death comes to us as a great surprise, usually, right? Yeah, I was just talking with Bob yesterday, and he's gone. He's gone. There will be no warning. So, right in this now moment, you stop all of your previous social habits. You let down your guard. And it allows others to see and know the real person you are. You can learn how to open your heart with anybody you meet. And this means learning how to let love in and share this bright light that you have inside you with them. You have no idea how it may change their life or yours for the better. Just do it. Who knows? They could be your last opportunity to love. It's so vitally important that we seize this precious life. We know that the ending will be arriving on its own, some own time schedule, and not according to anyone's plans. One minute your child is alive, the next minute they are gone. Hardcore truth. Every moment of our lives becomes emotionally rich and spiritually juicy. We discover a sweet reverence for life and stop taking every breath for granted. Now, one might say, okay, so if you direct it, and it's not like out there on its own, if you direct it, how would you appreciate things? Well, obviously you're in heart-mindedness. You have mastered your ego mind, and you have mastered your thoughts. So you're operating from a heart mind, which is pure bliss, peace, benevolence, tranquility, happiness, joy, on and on and on. So doesn't it make sense that you determine when you want to leave the body? There's a lot of things that they don't make sense. On one hand, you're the God, you're pure consciousness, omnipotently powerful supreme being, right, that never dies. But on the other hand, you have no oversight on when you're going to leave the body. And it shouldn't be traumatic. Why should it be traumatic? Does that make sense? It shouldn't be traumatic. It should be, hey, my name is Bob Johnson. I've been in this body for 5,000 years. The body looks whatever age you've picked, in late 20s, early 30s. And I've learned everything that I've learned in this life. You've discovered that you're the light, so when you leave the body, you don't follow the light. Right? You don't stay in that trap, that heaven trap, heaven's gate trap, where you go and jump, you go to the other side and you meet all your long-lost loved ones and everything. It's all sub-generated holographic imaging. It's a trap. It's a trap to trap you, the God. But we've all done it for who knows how long. Billions of years. But it isn't natural. It may seem natural, but it isn't natural. Our natural state of being is to just determine when we want to leave the body, when we want to end that life, we end that life. We are the God. That's it, period. Not swimming around, bumping into things, trying to figure out or contemplate our navels. So it's like you say to yourself, now this will be a wonderful learning experience for this civilization. So you have a body that's immortal, right? And then your body, you choose. So figure this out. You're not going to be sick. It's nothing like it is today. You're not going to be sick. The body's not going to rot away and deteriorate. You're going to be superhuman. You're going to be highly spiritual with high vibrational frequencies. In the now, heart-minded. It's different. It's a whole different existence. So then you determine when you decide to leave that particular life and body. Nothing else determines. It's not going to be a shot in the dark or surprise out of the clear blue. 1 minute you're here, the next minute you're not. Okay? But gratefulness, gratitude will be sky high. That's crucial. That even though you're immortal, you're in deep gratitude for being immortal, for having the opportunity to oversee your life. Because after all, you create it. You create your life. Doesn't it make sense that you decide when that life ends? Not some mumbo-jumbo out there, but you. You decide. So people, and that doesn't alleviate the fact that, a bus is going to come by and, just totally destroy your body. Those are the ifs, ands, and buts, but you would make sure that you wouldn't be in the vicinity or area where that would happen. But your knowledge and your gain of knowledge and experience and staying in deep gratitude 24/7, being gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times, absolutely phenomenal. That's our natural state of being. It isn't what we've been taught. That's not our natural state of being. Although the civilization has adapted, let's put it that way, to that structure. And we don't really think twice about it, do we? We don't contemplate it or go into meditation and focus on it. It just is. So we accept it as it just is, as we do many things. But here's where it gets a little funky. We leave the body, we don't know who and what we are. And this happens with just about everybody on this planet. So what does that mean? It means that a light is going to appear. You're the God. You're not in your body anymore. You're ball of light. And just imagine that. You're a ball of light, Even 1,000 suns couldn't be as bright as you truly are. So, and a light, this is how crazy this is. A light shows up and you're supposed to go into the light. And you are the light. And the funny thing is, you don't know you're the light. Because while you were in this body, okay, you did not discover that you are the light. So then the process starts over again. You go to the other side, you meet your loved ones, whatever, and then you decide to come back in and reincarnate. But each time when you go to the other side, your memory is zapped, and you come in, your memory is zapped. Now, what do you think is going to happen when you know you're the light? And so when you leave the body, when you decide to leave the body and end that life, okay, then let's say that you're aware that beam of energy that causes you to lose your memory is going to happen, but you are so fast that it cannot hit you. This is a whole different ballgame for all existence and beyond. It cannot hit you because you evade it. And you put up a field that absorbs it every time it tries to hit you. So no longer is your memory zapped, coming and going. That has been put to bed permanently. See, there's going to be a lot of changes. Purpose, why is that? Well, it is time for us to move on. We've been stuck in 3D for literally billions of years. Not just necessarily this civilization, but our ancestors and those before them. And it's time for us to, doesn't it kind of feel funky, kind of droll and dry? It's just same old, same old. Not that you aren't grateful for all of it, but there's a feeling that more and more are sensing with themselves that it's time to move on. We've learned, come on. In one lifetime, we learn it all. We do. Some more than others, but when it's all laid out there, plain vanilla, we learn a lot. We experience a lot. Now imagine experiencing several times more so that you're able to master your ego mind and your thoughts. And you reside 24/7 in heart-mindedness. And the ego mind has retired. But look at what you've learned. Massive. Absolutely phenomenal. And you determine that, you say to yourself, I don't know. I'm in the now, so I'll stay in this body however long I choose. Because sickness won't take you. And that's the majority of the things that happen. Vaccines won't take you. There won't be any illnesses will take you. None of that will take you anymore. It's all gone. Now, you're the only one that will take you. I think that is just I believe it's our natural state of being. We're the God we decide when we leave the body. And let's put it that way. Let's say you leave the body and you say to yourself, and you're immortal. That body's immortal. And you say to yourself, do I want to go back? Do I want to go back there and inhabit another body, be immortal, have that body be immortal? No, why? Why would you? What does that do? It opens up the gates for so many more souls to experience the material physical world. We don't have that now. It's like a bottleneck, back up traffic. There aren't enough bodies for a lot of the souls to come into. They're shrinking every day. So this opens it up. We come in, we stay 20,000 years or so, and then we do other things. It's our choice. We're free as you could possibly imagine. We were never meant to be incarcerated. That's the ego mind. We were never meant to be slaves on one planet. That's just not our natural state of being. This is why so many rebel. It's why so many people get upset when they're pressured and they're cordoned off. And this is why there's so much confusion. When you look at people that have a certain perspective, right? It's their perspective. They believe deeply on what they're presenting, representing, doing. They believe it. Hook, line, just like you believe your direction. And then you look at them and you'll say, they're crazy. They look at you and say, you're crazy. What causes that separation? The majority of humans on this planet don't know who and what they are, and they believe that we're separate. And all of it is an illusion. It's all an illusion. Crazy, isn't it? So you say to yourself, well, I accept my physical mortality because the only time I'm going to leave this body is when I decide I'm going to leave it. It's not going to be traumatic. It's not going to be a car wreck, accident, or anything like that. You're just going to leave the body. You're going to lay down, leave the body. It's like our natural state of being. You have a woman who gives birth to a child, but she does it naturally. In warm water, got a midwife. This is the way we used to do it. Not traumatic for the baby. The baby just comes right into warm water. And it's not as difficult because you have other energetics with other women there helping. Not like a hospital, where sometimes they have to use forceps and pull the baby body out, or they have to do this, or that's a breech birth, so they have to turn it around, or they have to do a cut into the stomach muscle and pull the baby out. I mean, think about it. Do you think that as we increase and improve the female population of the planet, if they knew that they could have babies without pain, do you think that would increase our population? Most likely, yes. Instead of being it is trauma to the body to have babies. And to be that, instead of being that way, it's with ease. The body adapts, it adjusts. It's how it should be on this planet. Okay? So it's up to us as the gods that we are. It's like Osho made a quote among many, misery nourishes your ego. And that's why you see so many miserable people in the world. The basic central point is the ego. He's right. Misery nourishes your ego. And that's why there's so many people on this planet suffering, miserable, upset, angry, confrontational. That's why they're so miserable. Because of the ego. Now it's like, you could say death is the most fierce and deeply penetrating spiritual teacher that we can have. It will not let our ego escape alive. Now, okay, that's not going to be the way anymore. You know why it's not going to be the way? Because we will master the ego. It will exist. And eventually, you won't need ego. It will never be there. So that changes. So does it mean that death is not the most fierce and deeply penetrating spiritual teacher we can have? You know, that it will not let our ego escape alive? Death will always be waiting around the next corner, ready to wipe our entire life clean? But see, when you leave, see, as you in that immortal body begin to experience and learn for your choice, hundreds or thousands of years, you're going to identify things. You're going to be able to master things that you could not ever do in one lifetime, not even in 10 lifetimes. Okay? But now you're going to be able to do that. See, people on this planet will not have financial problems, will not have issues. We all know that when we leave the body, everything material stays. That's not an issue. Not a big deal. We aren't attached to it. Why would we be attached to it? Are you attached to it? Maybe some things, to a little extent. But, okay, so we leave and we leave it behind. That's fine. It was fun. Enjoyed it. It was a great trip, great adventure, great journey there. It's like no matter how safe we think we are, this hard truth will remain. That we die. That's going to shift immensely. There will no longer be fear of death because we will have learned that the true selves, who we are, never dies, and that it's not separate from anything, and that it's the only thing that's real. Everything is divine perfection as far as the God is concerned. The God is divine perfection. You are the God. You are divine perfection. You are the only thing that's real. Nothing is separate from you. You know, it's like I just said, you're the mountain range, you're the beachfront, you know, you're all of it. And that's our focus, is to focus on that. Is that you see a tree, you're the tree. This eliminates the illusion of separation. Now, sure, you go, all right, so I'm in this body for however long that you decide to be in that body. And you say, well, I've learned this, I've learned that, I'm deeply grateful. I'm just as grateful, if not more grateful, than I was when I first entered this body. See, we stay in gratitude. It eliminates, not only that, we're consciously aware of who and what we are. Do we know the ego? We may allow the ego to be there so that we can, master it. Just for experience. All of us, in certain way, shapes, or form, have experienced things, but not, there are those, let's just put it this way, you know that there are people on this planet that don't know what work is, what labor is. They don't know, they have no clue. They've never lifted a dish and washed it. When their clothes, kind of get old, they throw them out. It's like you have a bunch of underwear, you wash them and you use them over and over again. They use them once and throw them out. Think about that. So there is a false separation. And you stay in gratitude, there's a lot of things that shift and change. So I might say, why are you grateful? Because I'm alive in this body. That's why I'm grateful. That I can see and I can smell and I can taste. And all those who can't do that, who are blind and have afflictions, that will all be gone. There won't be any afflictions on. Well, aren't you supposed to learn from afflictions? Why? We learn many other ways. We experience many other ways. We never stop experiencing, and we never stop creating. Will we look at life as fragile when you're immortal? I believe so. Knowing how very fragile this life is, we become kind to everything that is alive by remembering our mortality. That we are in deep gratitude, in deep reverence for ourselves and each other because of that. that we are at peace, tranquility. It's all going to shift. It isn't going to be this way. It's like somebody is dying, right? In this now, in this day, somebody on this planet is dying. They're in a hospital. They're in hospice. Whatever. See, they know they're going to leave the body. And all their life flashes in front of them. And what they focus a lot on is what they didn't do that they wanted to do. It's like every one of us have that. I asked my oldest brother, and he was in the hospital for the second time with colon cancer. And so I said to him, if you could do it all over again, what are the things that you would change? And he said, I would have taken better care of myself. I would have exercised a lot more. And he said, I would have eaten a lot better food. Because he never did. You know, he was a rancher. He thought that skim milk was blue and it was crap. And he wanted whole milk and drank whole milk and everything. He just had a horrible diet. He didn't exercise like he should have. And that's what he said. He said that those are the things I would have done to been able to live longer. And of course, he passed at 72. So everything changes and shifts because you won't have that. You won't experience these diseases and cancers and everything. They won't exist for any of us. And so what's our perspective? Our perspective is of deep eternal gratitude that we've had an opportunity to have a physical material form, to experience it, to know it's temporary, to know that the day eventually comes where we decide that this is done, this life's done. I've experienced many things that I wanted to experience that I created for myself, and there's no reason for me to linger any longer. And then what will you do from there? You continue to create. You continue to do whatever you choose. See, we don't have to be reincarnating in bodies over and over and over again. Doesn't it make sense that you live in that body for 20,000 years, 5,000 years, whatever, and you experience all the things that you want to experience, and then some. And you know you're never alone, okay? Because you are part of all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, forever. That's why when you look at a tree, you say, I'm the tree, I'm the mountain, I'm the sea, I'm the ocean, I'm this, I'm that. But it's true, see? You're not just saying it to say it, you're saying it because of true conviction, that you are part of all of this. So remember I said it's just one big ball of shining golden energy. And we're all part of that energy. Now, it's just energy taking different form. We're highly conscious beings, right? So we create. We create all the time. We create planets. We create solar systems, vast expanses. And everything that we create, we experience. Nothing gets by us. So we look at all this and we say, okay, now you have someone with death approaching them and they go, here, it's coming, I know it. Okay, so what have you learned? You know that you're the light? Have you mastered your ego mind? Have you mastered your thoughts? And I guarantee you that just about 99.99% of the people will say, no, not even close. Not enough time. 90 years, 100 years, 150 years, it's not enough time. It's a spit in a bucket. And we're deeply grateful. But have you looked at people that are 150? Well, in human, there's nobody that's 150. Even though Social Security said people at 200 and this and that, so on. So there's nobody at that age because the body is so racked with issues that if you live to be 150, you're like death waiting to happen. But at 150 as immortal, you're a young, vibrant being. You don't rot and you don't deteriorate and you don't do any of those things. So this is why our perspectives are going to shift. All the gurus, throughout all the ages. A lot of the things that they say, that they have quoted, are true to heart. But many will no longer apply. And this is all about newness and advancing and exploring and expanding the gods that we are. And being in bodies and experiencing. So it all shifts. You don't have 10,000 lifetimes. You're in the body for 20,000, 30,000, however long you want to be, and the body stays young. You know that the body will end when you decide to end it. I'm not talking about committing suicide. I'm talking about you lying down, you leave the body. Because you know who and what you are. It's not traumatic. It's very peaceful, stable, and it's at ease. And your gratitude will be off the charts because you'll be in such deep gratitude for being material physical form, for being immortal, and being able to stay as long as you choose. And obviously you won't overstay yourself because you'll know, and it won't be pressure from society. It'll just be, it's time for me to go. You could be with a bunch of friends and say, hey everybody, it's time for me to go. They won't be depressed, let down or anything. They'll say, that's great. You've been here how long? I've been here about 23,000 years. That's great. Wish you well, whatever you're going to do next. The whole landscape changes. You're not going to see people in depression, withdrawn, self-defeating, rutted, self-judging. Those things won't exist. You'll live in a blissful state. You say to yourself, and see, with the ego mind gone, you won't be there saying, what's this all about and why am I here? Because you will know. You will know why you're here. It won't be something that you say, this life is boring and, what motivates me to continue moving forward? It's a drag. I don't deserve this. It goes on and on and on. Will there be depressed people? No reason to be. The only reason people get depressed is because of their ego mind. And like I said, the ego mind is there to teach us. It's to teach us what it does, what it's about, why we respond the way we do to things, and why we're always protecting our egos. Someone says something to you, you protect your ego. What the part of you that gets upset is your ego. It's not the God that you are. Well, they said this about me. You get upset about it. It's the only reason you do is because it's the ego that's running the show, not you. This is another reason we have these meditations, so that people learn that the ego is not in charge. It wants to be, okay? And it seems like for many of us it is, but then you discover it isn't. Ego's not in charge of you, never has been. But it does give you the impression that it is. It believes it is, but it's not. And this is why you have this big neon stop sign. You throw it up in front of the ego, and every time that ego starts coming in, you go, stop, ego, you are not in charge. And you're not angry and revengeful with the ego, you're loving, and you say, hey, ego, that you're not in charge. Every time it tries to shift or twist, or, a thought that's twisted or shifting and that you don't really care, it gives you an uneasy feeling you're not really happy about, you negate it. You see a cloud floating by in the sky, you're the sky, and that cloud's there, and you look at that cloud and go, I'm not going to touch it, I'm not going to even intervene with it, I'm just going to let it float right by. And that's a thought. And this is how we should practice looking at thoughts. Just let that cloud go by. You might be tempted to grab it and pull it into your reality, but you say, nope, not going to do that. Period. You shift your vibrational frequency consciously. Because you know, when you shift that vibrational frequency, you feel so good. And any of those thoughts that float by, see, a lot of people will grab that cloud, pull it in, create it in their reality. This is why we have so many things occur in our lives because of that. Yeah, we're curious. Yeah, we think it's our thought, but it isn't. And the ego mind kicks in, next, the rest is history. Why are you unhappy? Well, people say that, well, they didn't get what they wanted, and they're unhappy about that. Why do you believe you're unhappy? Because you were fixated, you were fixed on it. You had expectations. You ever done that? You have an expectation and attachment to an outcome that, let's just say, is going to bring you a lot of money. Or enough money for you to do something that you've wanted to do for a long time. Buy something, whatever. And so you put the cart before the horse, so to speak. And you go out and commit to something because you're so sure, through ego mind, that it's going to happen. And lo and behold, it doesn't happen. And you suffer. And this is what we always do with the ego mind. We suffer because we get attached and we have expectations. And when those don't materialize for us, what happens? We get down in the dumps, we get disappointed, we get unhappy. Instead of going, that's okay. That's not a big deal. There's plenty more. And I learned that I cannot do it other than in meditation when I want to materialize something, manifest something. And I know that I only do one detailed request at a time, not 50, but one detailed request to the universe. And I also know that I must be genuinely heart-minded, not ego-minded, and in deep gratitude, and I have no expectations or attachments. That's a fine line. I mean, you're excited about something, and you would really enjoy having it, but if it didn't come in, you'd say, that's okay. All right. There's plenty more. And usually when the universe knows better than you do, remember it's your best friend, and you manifest something, and it's better than what you wanted. And you start to realize that. You know, I wanted this, this, and this, but I got this. And at first you go, how come I didn't get this over here? This is similar, but not quite what I wanted over here. But then you start to learn, that this is even better than what I'd asked for. God is there only if you surrender. Surrender makes anything God. Surrender gives you the eyes, and everything that is brought to these eyes becomes divine. Do not waste your life for that which is going to be taken away. Things, okay? We all know that. Trust life. Trust God. You trust only then, I mean genuinely trust, not superficially, only then can you drop your knowledge. Only then can you put your mind aside. And with trust, something immense opens up. Then this life is no longer ordinary life. It becomes full of God, overflowing also. See, it's learning, it's mastering the art of letting go. That's what this is about. Mastering the art of letting go. Surrendering. Moving into deep gratitude. This is how you master the ego mind. This is how you master your thoughts. And join in the meditation. I'll return to close this out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose. And an easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still, relaxed into your body, focused on your breath rising and falling. Whoever you've decided you are is still the tiniest fraction of who you really are. You are not defined by the ideas you have about yourself, nor your desires, nor the shape of your body, and not the positive or negative attitude of your mind. You are beyond all of this. You are indefinable. You are greater than your mind can fathom. You are a spiritual energy which is unbounded and infinite. This is the true you that will never die. For 5 minutes sometime today, sit with the question, who am I? Explore it with your heart, not your head. Be aware of the mind whenever it creates another idea of who you will be. Or who you were. And instead, dive into the very essence of your being. Explore what is here now at the very core of you in this moment. Take this with you for the rest of the day and the evening and night, the following morning. We'll return here Sunday, July 13, 2025. There's 3:15 p.m. Eastern to continue our global guided meditation call. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal gratitude at all times. No matter what's going on out there or within you. Open your heart and allow the magic to flow in.